What's good, world? This is King Arthur, and this is Not My Brothaz Keepers podcast, a true crime podcast about black dudes who kill. And I have a special guest today, and this is more like a co-host because it's going to be on both sides. It's going to be on my show, and it's going to be on hers. But I will let her introduce herself and get it rolling. Now, who are you now?
This is your favorite country girl. You know who it is, representing the New Orleans Nation over here with that Melanin Mayhem podcast, baby. And today, New Orleans Nation, we kicking it with the king, baby. We taking it to the king.
Let's go.
Author of Not My Brothaz Keeper podcast. So make sure y'all show my boy some love.
Yes,
Now y'all
sir. Let's
know
get.
I like to get
Oh
old.
yeah.
Huh? Go ahead, boo.
I said we good. Let's go. We back at it,
That's
y'all.
right, honey. You know, I like a good old historical case to illustrate my point that serial offending has been going on since the beginning of time. And today, we're going to take it back to the roaring 40s, honey. I'm about to blow the dust off a case that happened some 84 years ago. But it's still just as relevant today. Because this week's was like the great granddaddy for the serial offenders of today's time. And just like our perps, this raping, killing motherfucker was described as a soft spoken, gentle, never to think that somebody would do something like this. That shit sound familiar, don't it, huh? Well,
It definitely
his
sounds
soft
familiar.
spoken, gentle ass, he liked to also have sex with corpses. So there's
Oh
that.
my God.
Yeah.
Nasty bastard.
What the fuck? That sounds familiar. We know a couple of strange birds like that. This
Oh
nigga
man.
was perverted. So I'm gonna bring this nigga to the front of the congregation. This sweetheart of a serial killer with a taste for embalmed coochie. I bring you this week's Melanin Mayhem maker, Mr. Jarvis Cattell. Now, this was the 40s, so you know we don't have a lot of background information, but that's okay. We picked up on Jarvis when his story was getting good. You see, what we do know about Jarvis is that he was an undertaker's assistant. That's what they called the funeral home people back in the day. So he was
Mm-hmm.
quite accustomed to being around dead bodies all day, every day. If you ask me, he was a little too familiar with these dead bodies, if you know what I mean, right?
He saw
You
them
see,
titties and didn't know what
Jarvis
to do.
apparently he didn't know what to do with them, but what he was supposed to do with them, he wasn't doing, right? He was doing a little extracurricular activities, right? He liked to put his meat inside of dead bodies. Who the fuck do that? Like, for real. King Arthur, the nigga was crazy, right?
Man, he was worried about the wrong hole, man.
I'm saying, I guess if he couldn't get none from the living, he ain't have to worry about nobody fighting him back. You know what I'm saying? He could do what he wanted to do because they wasn't going to give him no pushback, right? They wasn't going to be
Right?
pushing back, period.
Man, you want a little fight in it. I don't get it. That's why I never understand rape. Like, bro, I wanted to fight back sexually, not physically, nigga.
Not physically. I want us to enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? We need to work up a sweat together, pleasurably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he sounded like he
And
liked to
most of
bite
all, I
dick and
need my
swing.
nigga to have a pulse. I don't know about you, but I need a pulse. You know, a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Well, when the funeral home found out that old Jarvis was desecrating these corpses, they fired that ass. And that's good on the part of the funeral home. Glad that somebody was taking care of business. But Jarvis, he decided that he was gonna keep on doing what he knew how to do, which was fuck with dead bodies only. And at the time, he decided that he was gonna switch over and he was gonna make these bodies dead, right? That old Jarvis was a sick puppy, baby. Now, this is the 40s, remember? And the nickname that they gave this nigga was the sex ghoul. I guess that was some cold shit in 1941, right?
Yeah, yeah, because now we just call you a nasty bastard.
Perverted motherfucker. You know, I love a good motherfucker in some kind of way, right? Jarvis's MO was to hunt these women that lived alone and rented out rooms, and he would pose as a renter. And when they would let him in to come look at the room, he'll put them hands on them. And once they were subdued, he would strangle them to death, and then rape them, and then leave them where they were. Now this is the 40s now, so the only thing the police really had to their at their discretion to use to help try to find these perpetrators were fingerprints. Well, Jarvis didn't leave no goddamn fingerprints, and he didn't drop a monogrammed handkerchief talking about Jarvis Cattell on it. You know what I'm saying? So they was really at a loss as to who the fuck was choking the life out these damn women. Honey, let me tell you something. According to his own testimony, he went about finding these women again that were alone, renting out these rooms, or that they wanted somebody to do some handyman work. You know, we all need a good handyman around,
He
right?
walk he coming
And
in like a
Jarvis,
maintenance man off a porn
yeah, he
movie.
coming out like a maintenance man. It's the 40s, you know, they catch him outside. You know how
Tool belt.
to do plumbing. Can you lay these floors down for me? You know what I'm saying? And he would be like, "Yep, anything you want me to do, I know how to do it." And then he would go in and do what he actually do when he do what he do. Again, a sick ass puppy. Now his first four victims were black women. We had 65-year-old Florence Dancy. She lived on L Street. Now this is in Washington D.C., right? Our nation's capital. He was riding up, showing out. So Miss
Of
Florence
course.
caught them hands on April 12th, 1935. And again, he strangled her out and then raped her. But you know, we're talking about black women right now. So there was an outcry in the black community. But you know, them white folks was like, we'll let
Whatever.
y'all handle that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're just moving
That's y'all
on, moving
problem.
on. So what they say sound like a me problem to me. Then, and these are not young women. Now, Florence was 65. His next victim was 62. Lady named Lucy Kidwell, right? She caught them hands September 28th, 1940. Now, it was a bit of a break because he did his first one in 1935, laid low for like 5 years, and then popped back out on them in September of 1940. Same MO though. Come in, squeeze them out, fuck them out, and dip out. We ain't supposed to be laughing at this. His third victim, just a slight bit younger, was 48-year-old Maddie Stewart. Same MO. Come up in her crib, strangle her out, raped her, dip on November 28th, 1940. So the nigga did too. He was kind of back to back. You're gonna see that there's a kind of a quick progression because his next one was only 2 months later when Ada Puller, 21 years old, she was a little hottie, a young thing. You know what I'm saying? Spry and whatever, and she only lived a couple of houses down from where Maddie caught them hands. He did her in on January 22nd, 1941. So at this point, we got four black women who have all died the exact same way, same MO. Police know about it, but it's only the black community members that are actually trying to figure out who the fuck is going around here killing these black women, right? Well, Jarvis figured out, why I'm gonna keep playing around in my own neighborhood. I'm gonna get me some different kind of coochie. And the next person who caught them hands was a white woman named Rose Abramitz. Now, Rose was 25 years old. She was
Man,
also a little young thing,
that white
right?
meat, man.
He got that white meat. He had enough dark meat. He was switching over to the white meat side. And hey, switch ups is fine if that's what you do. But understand this switch up is finna now bring some heat on you because they don't like it when the Asians start coming up missing, right?
You ain't
I'm
never
just
lying.
saying. I'm just saying. So Rose, he killed March 8th, 1941. And the thing was, there were witnesses. Rose saw Jarvis on the street, walked up on him and was like, "Hey, can you do some handyman work for me?" And Jarvis was like, "Of course." I think she wanted some floors done or whatever, had a couple of plumbing issues that she needed to take care of. So she brought him in her house, walked him around and pointed to different things that she needed him to fix in her house. And so Jarvis is chatting her up and she's married and all. And he's like, "So where's your husband?" And she was like, "Oh, he's at work." And he was like, "Oh, bitch, that's
that's
what's up."
that's a go.
So once Jarvis knew that they was gonna be alone for a little bit, you know what he do? Put them paws on her, and the next thing you know, Rose is waking up with the cane. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now
Take
he
me
stayed in this
to the
vein. Now,
king.
cane, the cane, take me to the cane. Then on June 15th, 1941, he catches another snow bunny. This time, this woman was Jessie Stipe. Caught that quick squeeze, stick, and go. Now, at this point, two white women in Washington, D.C. have been fucked over by somebody. They've got eyewitnesses that said that these women was around a black man before they untimely demise. So, you know, the police is like, oh, no, 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 no. This is priority number one at this point. We must find who this black man is, right? Well, funny thing is, it wouldn't be the DC police that actually caught Jarvis. It would be the New York City cops that caught Jarvis because he decided to take that thing on the road. He goes up to New York City around August 1941, again, renting a room. This time he rented a room from a white woman named Evelyn Anderson. Again, from the Caucasus clique, right? This time, this is where he would get caught. Cause see, after he did Evelyn in, he robbed her, and then he took the shit that he took from her, namely her jewelry, and went and pawned that shit. And just like today, when you go in a pawn shop to go pawn something, you got to put your name on
Red
something,
flag.
right?
Red fucking flag.
Big red flag. And Jarvis, I don't know if the elevator didn't go all the way to the top, considering his proclivities for sexual nature. Maybe it didn't, but he put his full name on the pawn ticket. So when Evelyn's body was found, they checked the pawn shops. And what do you know? Here goes some of Evelyn's shit. Because back in the 40s, jewelry and stuff actually had a serial number on it that could be traced. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a whole lot of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff out of there. And they did that shit in like no time flat. Evelyn got dead on August 24th. Jarvis' ass was arrested on August 28th. Please believe. They had caught that ass. Sir, you come with us.
Bring your horny
So
ass over here.
bring your horny ass on here because we got some questions. We have questions that only you can provide the answers to, right? So this August 28th, 1941, they got Jarvis yoked up, you know what I'm saying? And that we already said that Jarvis was a soft-spoken, gentle young man, you know what I'm saying? So when he had the police station, he tried to play hard for a little bit, but they broke that ass all the way down. After 6 hours worth of questioning, Jarvis was confessing to all kind of shit. Like
No, man,
all
I
kinds of
fucked her.
stuff.
It was
Jarvis is
consensual.
telling it
She was
all.
alive when I left.
He didn't even give him that. He literally told them what he did, which is crazy as fuck to me. Like, you ain't gonna make up a story. Stick with your I don't know this woman. I just rented a room from this woman. I didn't know, but he didn't. He broke down and told it all. But here's the kicker. He didn't just tell them about Evelyn Anderson. This motherfucker was telling them about all kind of shit that he did while he was in New York. Come to find out,
This
Jarvis been running
motherfucker
up on bitches left, right, and sideways. Everybody didn't get dead. You know what I'm
here.
saying? So they found out that Jarvis has assaulted 3 or 4 women in New York. Well, in the course of his verbal diarrhea, he started confessing to the shit he did in Washington, D.C. And New York was like, well, wait a minute, hold on. So what
Lawyer,
they do?
nigga.
He ain't asked for nothing. He ain't asked for no lawyer. And I don't know in the 40s if that was even a thing for black people. You know what I'm saying? Could you literally go in there and be like, lawyer, please. I'm gonna do my right to stay silent. Cause he
You
didn't
know what? He
stay
would have
silent.
said
This nigga
lawyer. They
told
would
it
have
all.
slapped the shit out of him.
But that's the crazy thing. You're gonna find out that they made sure to point out that they didn't do nothing to his ass. Now Jarvis told them that, Evelyn gave him that watch as a gift, you know what I'm saying? But come on, Jarvis. You know, in the 40s, white women couldn't give nothing to a nigga but a hard way to go.
That's it.
Like that's
He
it.
whistled at me, officer.
Period. Come on now, Emmett Till. Come on, don't play. Play, don't
He
play.
whistled.
But again, he in here telling it all. He just spilling his good, singing. This nigga singing like the rent do, right? You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, New York turns him over to DC because a federal case, which is what DC was like, oh, we finna get this nigga on a Fed charge. Fed Trump state every time, right? And that was not a pun to this
Every
man in
time.
office right now. You know what I'm saying?
Every
This
time.
nigga, he heads back to Washington, D.C. Same MO. The police get him in the box. They're questioning him. And this nigga took them. Like, they put him inside of a car and he took them to the locations where he had committed these crimes. Who do that? Can you
This
tell
nigga right
me
here.
on a show and
This nigga.
tell tour of his greatest hits? Like they just riding around DC. Oh, I was over there at her house. And yeah, I fucked her up over there. And then he was describing in detail the insides of these women's houses. How you know that, Jarvis?
Did he at least get a burger?
No, what he got, they took him back to the police station. They wrote out the confession to say the way they claim he gave it to him, and Jarvis signs it. But now the police, they were slick too. Now they didn't want no issues with Jarvis's arrest, right? They didn't want nobody to be coming back at a later date talking about Jarvis was coerced or beaten or something like that, right? So guess what they do? They took Jarvis to the doctor to have the doctor examine every inch of his black ass to attest that he didn't have no bruises, no marks of any kind on his body.
A white doctor.
Several white doctors. It was like the coroner and like whatever the city hospital doctor was. Like they made sure that like there was a list of people that could attest. We talked to him. Hey Jarvis, has anybody hit you? Nope, ain't nobody hit me. Jarvis, has anybody forced you to do something that you don't want to do? No, anybody forced me to do anything. Jarvis, has anybody mistreated you in any way? It was so crazy that there was this newspaper, a black newspaper, that was actually talking to like the white police officers and people in charge, and they literally told them that we didn't have to rough him up. We didn't have to put hands on him at all. He gave it up freely.
We didn't have to whoop this nigga. He was a good one.
Basically, I mean, you ain't a snitching of your own violation, baby. Ain't nobody did shit to you. Jarvis, Jarvis, you got to learn how to be a better criminal, son. You got to learn. So again, he's described in detail everything that he's done, these women's houses, even down to what they were wearing when he killed them, right?
This
Dude,
nigga.
you know this ain't gonna end well for you, right?
This nigga right
Like,
here.
you should have stayed silent or whatever. Also, come to
He should have
find
went to the
out, in
West.
addition to the killations of them 6 women in Washington, they also identified Jarvis as a man that had assaulted some other women around DC, right? These women say they didn't die. They were attacked, but they didn't die. Same thing. They say that Jarvis came to their house, talking to them about renting a room, and when they let him in to see the room, he choked them out. He fucked with them too, but he did. I don't know. I ain't a man, so I don't have man meat. But I would think you should be able to tell the difference between living coochie and dead coochie.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you fucking a corpse, bro, I mean, don't that hurt? Because I know you raw dogging them corpses.
Oh my God, you just made me think about something so terrible. Like, when a person dies, there is a release, right?
Yeah.
There's that release. You a nasty motherfucker, right? You nasty, nasty. The smell. Oh God.
I know that mortuary was
Mm.
like, hey, man, what the fuck is that smell?
But at least I would think at the mortuary, they had already gone through that final release. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was, they've been washed and embalmed and whatever. But these real life bodies, you in real time. You know what I'm saying? So the minute their life leaves their body, and I know this only because I had an animal, I had a dog that literally died in my arms. My dog got
Mm.
hit by a bus, and I was trying to run back to the house, and she died in my arms, and she shit it in my hand. Little Yorkie. Oh, I cried. That's
Oh,
not the
man.
point.
When them pets die, oh, man, that's the worst day ever.
It was crazy though, but it did. I mean, I had heard that that happened, but I literally saw it in real life, real
Mm-hmm.
time. So I know
Mm-hmm.
that when the life force leaves the body, there is a final release. And sir, you went on, you was turned on and aroused still.
You know what? Them chicks that stayed alive, I bet you he was flaccid. He probably couldn't do nothing with them because they was alive.
Might have been. Now they didn't go into detail because this is the 40s and everybody is politically correct and whatnot, but they did say that he attacked them, right? So after they had reported their crimes, what they did was they put Jarvis in a lineup. And the women that lived, they had all of their asses come in, and all of them pointed Jarvis out one by one. That was him. That was him. That was him. There he go. That nigga right there. That's the one
I
who
wonder
did
if it
it.
was a real lineup. They just grab 5 niggas and say, which one of them niggas is it? And he in the middle. I'm gonna tell you right now, he in the middle. Now, which one of these niggas did it?
And that part of the story we will never know. All we do know is that they was like, it was you. And once they pointed him out, it was ready to turn that nigga water off. Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you this: in the 40s, shit moved fast. All that stuff now,
You ain't
it take
lying.
2-3 years for a motherfucker to go to trial. Oh no, no, no!
3 weeks, two
The 40s,
days.
you didn't have the luxury of waiting years. Talk about speedy trials and due process. That shit went fast, and it absolutely went fast, super fast with Jarvis because They had this nigga, and I'm talking about nigger with the hard ER, and he had not only put hands on these women, these white women, because those were the ones that they was concerned about. Trust and believe, they wasn't worried about them folk black women that caught them hands. They was concerned about them white women. And not only did you put your hands on them, you put your penis in the bodies of these dead white women. Oh no, baby, they finna dead that ass quickly and expeditiously.
And you know what's
So the
crazy? Them
following
white men
month,
don't want to be touched. They don't want to touch them white women after
no,
they
you
done got
oh
up in there.
no, you they don't want to go behind
You
nothing that they
tainted.
know some black has been in. Oh no. Now check this out. So this happened in August. August 28th is when they arrested Jarvis. The following month in September, they sent Jarvis for a psych eval. Not only we gonna make sure that you can't say that we put hands on you, you also not gonna be able to say that you ain't competent to stand trial. That nigga could have been had an IQ of -1. They still was gonna say that he was competent to stand
He
trial. We know
competent.
that much, right? Now, of course, by this time, reality has set in for Jarvis, and now he want to take back everything he been saying. I ain't mean none of that. They coerced me. They beat me. Nigga. We got pictures. We ain't fuck with you. Nigga. You said
Lord
you on
forbid they
record
found out he
saying that
voted.
we didn't bother you. We got it's too late, honey. And just go full head to dig that ass. And it's crazy. I found out that when they arrested Jarvis, he was goddamn engaged to a woman that lived on the same block as two of the women that he had killed. This woman, like, she shaded up, and she said that when she was talking with Jarvis, she had told her friends that he was nice and gentle and offensive in any way, but that she also thought he was quote a this kind of man. Man, ma'am, you think this nigga's a sissy? They words, not mine. But you gonna be engaged and marry this man? That don't make
Right?
sense.
She like a
But it's
little
the
killer on the
40s.
side.
I'm just saying it's the 40s though, but I went as women, we didn't have a lot of rights. We were still property. We needed a man to stick and move in the world, you know what I'm saying? So maybe she was using Jarvis to get what she needed to get to in life. I'm willing to give Esther the benefit of the doubt, right? But kind of
Yep.
find out, me Esther was wrong as fuck, huh? About that nigga being scared of women, because he wasn't scared. It was quite the opposite, ma'am. This nigga that was gentle and attentive with you was out here killing your neighbors. And y'all talked about it like they were. She said they talked about it when the murders happened, and he was talking about how it was a sin and a shame before God. Sir,
This
sir,
nigga.
that's just like somebody who will
This
steal your
nigga.
shit and then help you look for it.
And they
Mm-mm.
will.
Happens all the time. Well, in true nigga fashion, how about Jarvis? Also, he wasn't just fucking with Elsa. Come to find out, he had another chick up the way. So this nigga's a
Of course.
whole whore.
He got two live women, but
A
he prefer
whole
them
whore
dead.
on
Why
that
he didn't
ass
kill
out
their ass?
here. I guess he had picks and chooses. I guess when the urge came up on him, he just had to do what he had to do when the urge came up on him. I don't know. But what I do know is Jarvis Cato went to trial on October 15th, 1941 in Washington, D.C. A grand jury had indicted him on 10 counts of rape, 4 counts of robbery, and 5 counts of murder, and the prosecution was seeking the death penalty. But they only took him to trial for one murder, and that was for Jesse Strife. You see, back then, they didn't feel like they needed to waste tax dollars on a whole bunch of different trials. We get your ass one time, you can't die but once. To hell with the rest of the victims. All we need is this one. And the envelopeians was like, hey, we with this shit. How was you killing? We don't really care how you get to the end point, right?
Yup.
But we all knew that Jarvis was going to be convicted because he was. On October 24th of 1941, it took the jury a whole 18 minutes to reach their verdict. 18 minutes.
18 minutes. Damn, if you went to the bathroom, you would have missed the whole damn thing.
That shit. Jarvis Cato is headed to the electric chair. Now, Jarvis did have a lawyer in all this. His name was Mike Shea. And he did, I guess,
Finally.
try to put
Finally he has
up
a
a
lawyer.
defense. He had a court appointed, you know what I'm saying? Because Jarvis didn't
Oh
have, he
man.
was indigent. He didn't have no money. It was a court appointed. But I don't think the defense was as strong as it could have been. because Mike Shea and his family was getting death threats from the hood wearing Melanesians that was not pleased that a white man was defending a murdering, raping Negro. Mm-mm. Mike had to ask for police protection because they was finna come fuck his ass. Him and the wife and the children. Mm-mm. So I'm sure he was in the courtroom. He gave a defense, but he ain't trying to stand up for that nigga to actually get his ass off because, you know what I'm saying, Mike didn't want to be off.
Right.
Now, I will tell you one good thing actually came out of all of this. A wrongfully convicted black man was freed. There was a man named James Matthew Smith that had been locked up for Florence Dancy's murder. But since Jarvis confessed to her murder, they let James out and was like, "Man, our bad. We sorry.
I should have.
You
I
know,
knew they had picked
shit
up
happened."
another nigga. I knew they had picked up another nigga. I knew it.
Course. Of course. But they let him out, sent him on his way. He had already did like 5 years. But they let
Oh
him out.
Lord.
They didn't no, it's not like today he didn't get no check from the state, from the government, no nothing like that. It was just your ass is free. Don't let us catch you no more. Right?
Yeah, don't let us
Now
catch
they
you doing
carried out
not doing some shit no more.
don't let us catch you not doing some shit no more. Right. Now, Jarvis Coutue's death sentence was carried out in 1943. I don't know the exact date. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I do know that he did the electric slide right on into hell. Now, did he do it? I think that there's a good chance that he did. I mean, for me, it was the taking the cops to the homes of those women who he supposedly killed. I mean, if he didn't do it, he wouldn't have known exactly where they stayed, right? And there was so many articles written by black publications from the time that were up close and personal with Jarvis. Like they would go visit him in the jail and take pictures, and he'd be in that bitch posing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just a even spirited man. So even in those black newspapers, they felt like Jarvis was the one. So I'm gonna rock with them on this. You know what I'm saying?
Black people like, yeah, get that
Um,
nigga.
we
You
got the
putting
right
heat on
one.
us.
Now I'm gonna tell you now, while this case is 84 years old, it's still relevant today, especially now that boarding houses have become the rage. I know so many women that have property that they rent out a room in, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the whole house or whatever, and they're renting them out to strangers. But you got to be mindful that all folks ain't skin folk. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. What is it? All skin folk ain't kin folk. Ain't
Ain't
that how the saying go? So you got to make sure that you're doing that due diligence, ladies and gentlemen, out here renting out these rooms because you can't get too comfortable and let your guard down. You need to make sure that you got security cameras everywhere. I'm talking about in the plural sense because somebody need to be able to see and be seen at all times, if you know
you
what
ain't
I'm
never
talking about,
lying.
right? I'm just saying, y'all, serial murder has been a thing. It's still a thing. And as long as there are humans on this rock, there will always be a serial offender in the shadows waiting for some unsuspecting victim. All I'm
Waiting
saying
to
is, y'all
rape
know
your
how I
ass.
say, stay safe, stay vigilant, and if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Don't become victim number. You know what I'm saying? Another notch on the serial killer's belt because this shit is happening. It's been happening since the beginning of time. Y'all know that's my whole point in my podcast is to make sure that I am dispelling the myth that we believe there are crimes that black people don't commit. We do all that shit.
We do it all.
We do it all. And that, for my New Orleans Nation fans and my new fans over at Not My Brothaz Keeper, was the story of Jarvis Couture, a serial murdering murderer that murdered and a serial dead woman raper that raped.
Jarvis ass. I'm sure. I bet in that interrogation room they probably still had a gun on him. Or you
I'm
sit
sure.
your ass right here, nigga.
But
but
they made it seem like he was just very, you know how they like to call us well spoken. So he wasn't up in there thugging out or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't feel that they needed to come at all aggressive. You know, it was good cop, good cop. It wasn't no bad cop. You know, long as a cop was in the room, the bad is implied.
hell yeah, you know it. You know it.
I'm, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Now, New
So
Orleans
what you got
Nation,
for him, King?
we are finna head down to New Orleans, and we have a lady by the name of Anita Johnson, and she
Now,
has Yeah. New Orleans. I'm trying to get down there next month. Yeah, Anita Johnson has 4 kids. She has a Ryan Johnson, um, a Joshua Johnson, a Casey Johnson, and a Toya Johnson who becomes rich and famous. Oh yeah, but Anita, she's older. So she was a crack baby and been on crack a long time. And you would think that if your child grows up and becomes something, she would stick your ass in rehab and get you off that crack. But no, no, they just more crack.
That's what you
We,
supposed to do. You know you supposed to get your mama straight. Get your mama
no,
clean. You got
we
if you got a couple of coins,
we can
I'm
afford more crack.
fast. Mm,
We can afford more crack, right? So
at
as her
all.
kids are growing up, she's in and off of drugs. She's been arrested for these for crack cocaine, all this different stuff growing up, right? But at the tender age of 14, Latoya Johnson, she meets a local rapper who to me is still the best rapper alive. Now, y'all could mine is gonna be kind of a guess who, because I'm not gonna give you what they're called. I'm gonna give you their names, their real names. Now y'all can figure it out later. You probably will figure it out by the end. But
You
yeah.
see the wheels are turning. I'm trying to figure out the best rapper alive from New Orleans.
hmm
Hmm.
And so they met at 14, and of course he met her on the sidewalk. He started talking to her. He started kicking it with her. He's growing up. Um, she gets pregnant, and she ends up having a daughter. I'm just gonna call her RC. Those are her initials,
I
right?
know who you talking about. I know who you talking about.
And they got married. It lasted 2 years. She gonna accuse this rich man of cheating. What? Man, niggas don't broke niggas cheat. Rich niggas don't cheat, bro. Rich
What
niggas
they
don't cheat.
do?
That's broke men do that.
I'm saying what the rich niggas do. What they do? It's just called option.
They just go out and make money. She fell on my lap. Hey, what do you want to do? But Atoya is tired of this shit, and she divorced his rich ass. So that child support is coming pretty good, cause he is blown up, and he is the biggest, right? He is the biggest, right? So around 2011, she finds herself. She does a show with her friend Tamika, right? And it's a reality show, and it lasts for a couple of seasons. But at this point, she has already married another guy by the name of Memphis Wright. Memphis Wright is a well known producer from Memphis, and she's gonna accuse his rich ass of cheating too. What, lady? Why do you think these men are cheating on you? What are you doing?
Because their
If
penises are in other vaginas other than hers. That's why they call cheating. That's
right.
what it's called.
So during this reality show, her mom is still on crack, but they play it off on the reality show as if she's got better, and she decides to purchase her mom a restaurant, right? But her mom ain't trying to cook no baked chicken. She ain't trying to cook no mac and
She in the
cheese.
kitchen whipping, 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 whipping.
She in there whipping it. She went to whipping it. She thought it was eggs up in this motherfucker. She saw me whip them eggs. She thought I was back at it, right? Now, her
Mm.
brother, Casey Johnson, now he is pissed at her ex-husband, who is the rapper, that why he ain't put us on. We knew him all our life. He should have put us on. We shouldn't be struggling. Nigga, you can't rap. To this day, this man still raps. And today, you still on Instagram. Oh man, this is bullshit. Oh man, he could have put us on. Oh man, this, that, and the other. Right? So back to the slums they go. Now, Atoya Johnson has moved to Atlanta. That's where she stays. The rest of the family has took their ass back to the New Orleans 7th Ward. Right? And Ryan and Joshua on this fateful day, they are just telling their mama, hey, we finna go smoke. We finna head over to Carl's house. Do you want us to bring you back a little crack?
I'm a to-go
Because at
box.
Carl's house, sometimes she goes over there and smokes crack there. Now, it is kind of crazy They'd be like, "Hey, mom, if I go pick up some weed, do you want me to bring you some crack back?" Because I'd have been like, "Mom, I'm not buying you no crack. I only got $10. I'm just going to buy a 10 bag of weed. We can't afford no crack this night." So
Mm-mm.
on July 31st, 2016, Ryan and Joshua tell their mom, "Hey, we finna head over to Carl's house. We finna go get us some weed. I need to get high. I'm broke." So they pull up to the trap house and they go knock on the front door. A
Not good.
man by the name of and Antonio Edwards comes out. "Hey man, what the fuck? Didn't I tell your bitch ass if you coming over here to get this motherfucking work, you need to take your ass round back? Bitch, I ain't playing with you niggas."
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Yeah, man, you fucking up, man. You making my spot hot. Nigga, this is a crack house. It's always hot. What the fuck are you talking about?
That come with
Right?
the territory. Everybody know what you doing over here.
Come on, nigga. You got crackheads in front of your spot, but I gotta go through the back door. They smoking on the
Basic
porch.
on the
Now,
porch.
Antoine Edwards, his street name is Teasy. And Teasy is the biggest around in the area in the Seventh Ward. He got crack, cocaine peel, quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick. Hey, he got it all. And he is moving that shit. He got workers. He got these flunky ass niggas coming over that are getting taxed because their sister is rich. So anyway, on this night, they don't go around back. And he comes to the door and say, "Man, what I told you niggas, dog?" I say, "When you come over here, knock on the back doors. Why the fuck are you coming to the front?" Right? Now, Ryan like, "Man, what the fuck is the problem, nigga? It's midnight. Can't nobody see us out here, man. We know everybody out this
Cause you
motherfucker.
know
If
ain't
you
no
gonna get
street lights.
right."
Ain't no street lights in the hood. Mm-mm. It's dark as
Especially in
fuck
New
over there.
Orleans. Especially in New Orleans. I can imagine this is the darkest spot in New Orleans. So he's like, "Hey, look, man,
Mm.
don't be coming to my don't be coming to my house with that bullshit. I told y'all, take your ass around back. Don't come to the front door." And like, "Man, fuck that. I ain't come to the front door." "Oh, fuck me? You coming from my shit? You saying fuck
Hey,
me?
nah, nigga, fuck you.
Fuck me? Nigga, your mom be over here smoking rocks over here, not mine. Your mama be over
Oh,
here doing tricks and shit for a fix, not
you
me."
know you can't talk
They're like,
about
"Hey, nigga,
nobody mama even when it's true. Ooh,
you
ooh,
ain't finna be
that
talking
that.
about my
Oh,
crackhead mama. I know my mama on crack. I know my mama
mm-mm.
smoke rocks. You ain't finna be talking to my mama like that." He's like, "Oh, really?" Pop, 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 pop. He sent
Mm.
9 shots in the car.
Damn.
He has hit Ryan 6 times, close range. He has hit
That's hard.
Josh 3 times, close range. And pew, he is on the run. He is out of there. Now,
Oh,
all
man.
of a sudden, Anita gets a phone call from Carl, the owner of the crack house. Because, of course, he's getting the drugs out because he know has a hot spot. And you can't have no dead body in front of no crack house.
No.
So
It's bad
Anita,
for business.
who is 5 minutes away, makes it over there quick. Now, Anita's high right now, off crack. So she was doing a speed walk, probably even ran, probably flew. She's a crackhead.
It's her kids. She flew because it was her kids.
Hmm. We can say that.
Yeah, I can go for that. I can go for that. Oh man, that's hard.
She
Ooh.
gets to the scene.
Mm.
She sees the car. It is 100 niggas outside. She runs to the car, opens the door, grabs Ryan. Ryan is dead already.
Mm.
She grabs Joshua. Joshua says, "Teasy did it." And she starts screaming, "Tony! Tony, you motherfucker! I know you did this, you motherfucker! You got any more crack?"
Oh,
Um
you wrong. You wrong. You going to hell for that one. Not you got any more crack. Mm-mm.
So she
Mm.
is screaming, yelling Tony's name. "Tony! Tony, you motherfucker! Tony, I'm gonna get you for this, you bitch!" Screaming, hollering, everything, right? So Now the detectives and the police they have finally arrived. Yes, she beats the police. This is New Orleans. Police ain't running to that shit. It's an active scene. We ain't going. We gonna let that shit die down, or let them niggas just die, one or the other. We gonna let them kill themselves. We ain't got time for this shit. So eventually, um, Detective Kent arrives, right? And when he arrives, he sees all the shell casings on the sidewalk, and it's about they pick up about 8 or 9 casings, right? And while he's there, he of course he starts asking, approaching people, and people are just walking off. Like, man, I don't know, I ain't see shit, nigga. I ain't even from around here, man. I was just walking by, and I
You
mean,
know, in
shit, I
the
see all
hood,
shit.
don't nobody say nothing.
We
Ain't
don't,
nobody seen nothing. Don't nobody know nothing.
man, we ain't seen shit. We ain't seen
Mm-mm.
nothing, right?
Mm-mm.
So of course, Teasy's in the wind, but he's really not that far in the wind. This is his shit. He got a lot of people that can hide him. So he just run off, right? Run off into the dark, right? So the detectives they get there, they got no answers from anybody, right? So so they clear the scene and they leave because they actually they got nothing from nobody. Nobody told them shit. And this is 2016. It should be cameras out there, but not really.
It
I can't
should be,
remember
but
when the
just like
last.
them street lights, they probably been broke.
Oh yeah, they're definitely shooting at them and shit like that,
Mm-mm. We don't need no extra eyes out here.
right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So the news has hit that the famous Otoya Johnson's brothers have been killed on the streets of New Orleans in the Seventh Ward. And this sets the social media on fire because everybody knows who this lady is. But
Yeah.
she has to get down there because she's in Atlanta right now, right? Now, the next day, a lady by the name of Tori comes into the station and says, "Hey, I know who did this. His name is Teasy. I heard him bragging about how he killed these people." And she came to the she came to the station with the with another guy, which is her husband. He said, "Yeah, man, that nigga did that shit. Yeah, man, that's my partner. I know he did that shit. He told me he did that shit. He told me that yeah, I killed them niggas and I'm gonna spin the block and shoot up the funeral too." He said these niggas gotta go, running up here talking to me what they is and what they ain't gonna do, right? And he ain't take that too kindly because now this is two people that said, yeah, he did this shit. I know this nigga personally. Teasy did it. He the biggest nigga over. He's selling more dope than anything. Now mention these two motherfuckers right here, Tori and her husband, they got criminal backgrounds and you know how that go in court. Um, they gonna be like, you can't believe them niggas. They be high themselves. They sell drugs themselves. They did this. They did that. Right. So of course he got to get he needs some more witnesses, but eventually you have more witnesses coming in because people want this nigga off the street because they could be next, right? So another lady comes in by the name of Journey. Journey and her mama came in. They're like, yeah, man, uh, the nigga Teasy, he been bragging all night about how he did this shit and bragging about how he gonna continue to do this shit, bragging about how he want all these motherfuckers dead for ruining his operation. Cause he done
Well, not
closed up
verbal
shop.
diarrhea. Not
Yeah,
verbal
he done
diarrhea, sir.
yeah, he done closed up shop. Now the crazy part about when he was telling people he was gonna kill these niggas, I mean when he's gonna kill everybody, he's telling Tori's husband that he's gonna kill him and shoot up the funeral. His girlfriend rolls up and say, "Hey man, fuck all that shit. We getting out of here. We getting the fuck out of here. We finna head to Atlanta."
It's always
Right?
woman that got the cool head, baby. That's not what you want to do. Please don't fuck up the funeral, please. Mm, it's cold blooded,
Right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He is pissed. You done fucked up all my money. You done fucked up the church's money.
Well, actually, you fucked up your own money by shooting two people in front of your spot. Like, which one of these things caused the other?
Yeah, just stupid at all times, stupid. And then so
What they say? You play
Journey,
stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
oh of course. And a lady by the name of Mashonda showed up and said, "Yeah, I heard the shooting and I saw that nigga run down the street. It's Teasy. Teasy known to tote a Glock, and he let niggas know I will kill
Hmm.
you."
Hmm.
But at this point, you got four witnesses have came in and said, "Yeah, it's that nigga Teasy." Now, a couple days go by, and they have finally got enough witnesses and enough evidence to get a search warrant. So they start kicking in trap door. They start kicking in trap houses all over New Orleans, everywhere that niggas say he would be, right? And after he kicked in, after the feds kicked in about 6 or 7 houses, they say, "Fuck this. Where this nigga at? Y'all all be selling dope for this nigga. Y'all all be buying weed and cocaine from him. Y'all all taking his pills. Who got this nigga's contact numbers? Cause y'all are junkies. How do y'all get in contact with this nigga?" They offer up this guy's phone number, right? So Detective Kent gets Teasy on the phone. He's like, "Hey, what's up? Who this? Nigga, it's the police. Where you at?" Teasy like, "Nigga, I'm at where I'm at. What the fuck you want?" He was like, "Well, your name has been implicated in a murder. And you know what I'm talking about, son. Do you want to come down to the station and talk to us about it?" "Yeah, I'll be
No.
down there. Where y'all want me to be
I
down
don't
there?"
know nothing. No. I
"Yeah, I'll
don't
be
know who
down.
called
I'll
me now
be down
and
there to
tell
talk
me
to
to keep
y'all."
my name out their mouth. I don't know nothing.
He probably
I've been in Atlanta.
he,
You called me. I'm out of town. I don't know what you're talking about.
now
Nope.
I'm thugging with my rounds.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
Teasy was like, "Yeah, I'll be down there at 12." 12
Okay,
rolls by.
Tina.
Homeboy Teasy is gone. Teasy has
See what I'm talking
already
about?
made it. Teasy has already made it to Atlanta. And people have
It ain't
started telling,
New Orleans. What is that? A 6 hour, 8 hour drive? You can get there quick.
yeah, yeah, it ain't that
Mm.
far. It ain't that far. Because if I drive to New Orleans, it take me 5. That's five
Yeah, I think
hours. And if I
8 hours because they be going
so
down it's armies. But
we're
yeah,
gonna take 10.
I'm
Damn,
not
I
even
forgot.
in New Orleans. I ain't even in the state of Louisiana. I am outie 5,000.
Now, this is alarming that he is here to Atlanta because Atoya Johnson stays in Atlanta. And the police have already figured out that he's in Atlanta with some cousins, right? And when um when Toya gets the word that homeboy's headed to Atlanta, all of a sudden their ex-rapper boyfriend, I mean husband, he has got her security. But
Mm.
not for Toya. I mean, god damn it. Not for Atoya Johnson, but for the baby. Because he don't give a damn about that ex-wife.
That's all right. The baby is always gonna be with me. So if the baby got security, that means I got security too. Shit. Fuck you
Right?
talking about? Shit, if baby ain't leaving my side, we got security.
Right?
Shit.
Right?
Mm,
So
mm-mm.
this happened in July. But in March of 2017, they finally have caught up to TZ. They have surrounded the house and they have kicked in the door, snatched up his cousin and a homie, and they gave them a map to where the gun was at. Nigga, why do you
Yeah.
still got this gun?
What?
Why do you still got this gun? And after being threatened with prosecution for embedding a fugitive, because these cousins got criminal charges already. Like this is my thing. You can't hang around a bunch of niggas with crimes because they gonna do and
No,
say whatever the fuck they can to get out. Right?
everybody hard till they facing time, and then them
Man.
niggas fold like freshly laundered clothes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
Because at this point they telling you nigga
Mm-mm.
was you in on this? Man, hell no. He just showed up. Oh, he just showed up and stayed, huh? Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
cousin and all, you know what I'm saying? He found. He could come.
Man, them
It's not
cousins will
out
get
the
your ass jammed
ordinary.
up
But
in a
what you say he
heartbeat.
had here? Say what?
So they finally catch Teasy, right? And they get his ass into the interrogation room, right? And they ask him, "Do you want to say anything?" He's like, "Man, fuck y'all. Give me a lawyer." He's like, "Okay, cool, we'll get you a lawyer." They throw his ass in the county jail for a couple of days, and then he is expedited back to New Orleans, where he
Okay, he was
stands
on right
there.
for a little minute.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, where he sits there and awaits trial. And of course, he can't make bail because he just killed 2 people, and he has been charged with second-degree murder. Why second-degree murder? You say? Um,
Mm.
well, I don't think it was like it ain't like he just went out there to kill these guys. He was waiting to catch them. This all happened from a heated argument, right? Oh, how much weed was they buying? How much weed was they
How much?
arguing over? $10 bag.
Shut your mouth. I know damn
ten
well we
dollars.
not arguing about a dime.
It was a dime bag they was trying to get, and he wasn't trying to sell it to him because they did not knock on the door they were supposed to knock on. Nigga,
Man,
crackheads in the front, weed
I
smokers
know,
in the back.
I know we not talking about no pillows, baby. If you don't get on up out of here, all of this for a dime
ten
bag of weed. Stop it.
$10. I'm thinking he going over there to buy a brick. No, it's ten
Saying,
dollars.
come on, at least an ounce. You mean to tell me two people lost their lives about a dime bag of weed? Lord, we got to do better. We got to do better.
One thing about these
Oh,
niggas, man.
oh.
One thing a niggas got is audacity. Nigga, you got the audacity
uh,
to knock at my front door of my crack house? Nigga, it's rules to this
For a
shit.
dime bag of weed, you don't even want the crack. You want some weed.
I could see why
Mm.
Ryan was like, hey man, is you gonna give us the $10 bag or not, nigga? Ain't like we buying a quarter, nigga. Just give it to me right here so I can go get high. Do you got any
At
crack for my
all.
mama?
At all. At all. He didn't even have to open up for that. He could have slid that out the window. A dime? Look in the mailbox. It's one out there, I'm sure.
Right. So in 2019, when he finally goes to trial, which I have no idea why it took 3 years to go to trial.
Because
Um
this ain't the 1940s where it was moving at a fast pace. Mhm.
at trial, Mashonda got on the stand and said she gets weed from TZ all the time. He's the biggest supplier around there. Everybody gets his weed. Um, Now Mashonda has already was pending charges. Right? She had aggravated assault, domestic violence, possession of controlled substance, and a pistol charge. This bitch was
You
going to
got
jail
that
one
light.
way or the other. Look, this bitch ain't have a leg to stand on because after her testimony, her ass still was convicted of all the crimes
Oh,
she
she
did.
got a short sentence. I hope for all that sake she got some for her time.
Like these
They gave her the
motherfuckers
full
here.
ride?
She got
No.
the full ride, bruh.
Stop it. Stop it.
And
You turned snitch for nothing? Come on
no
now.
reason at all. No reason at all.
No
And
scratch my back, scratch yours. Man, you don't get up out of here. You supposed to been, I ain't seen shit, I don't know shit, and I ain't do shit.
right. And then not only that, his homie Tori's husband, Mr. Williams. He said, "Yeah, man." He told me flat to my face, "Yeah, I killed them niggas." These niggas are on the stand. Mention these are niggas that smoking crack, selling weed, whooping bitches, and carrying pistols. All on the stand, nigga. You know you can never go back home, right? We ain't selling you
No.
shit. We not
No.
selling you
Roll
shit.
it
You
out.
snitch ass nigga. So he gets on and say, "Yeah, man, that's my boy. Man, I love that nigga, man." What? Nigga, you sending me up the river. And he said, yeah, when I was talking to him, his girlfriend rolled up and said, man, let's get the fuck out of here. Now, Mr. Williams gets on the stand and say, everybody knew Teasy did it. He let everybody know he did it because he didn't give a fuck. He said, you want that type of fear. You want people to know that you can't fuck around with me. And not to mention, this is New Orleans. What's the chances of you getting convicted of a murder when nobody talks? The issue is the sister is famous. And this made this high profile. So we are coming to get your ass because this is gonna make us look crazy if we don't, right?
I mean, you got to think our
So
boy should have known better to get here. I
Teasy,
mean, you know who at your door, so why would you even bring this kind of smoke? Because this ain't just like no regular hood shit. You know what I'm saying? You just took it to another level because of who they related to, who they are
is
associated with.
exactly, and this goes for all the kingpins. Look at Big
Yeah.
Meech. He didn't get caught for drugs until he killed somebody. The murder
Mm.
led the feds straight to his door. Every
Mm.
kingpin, once they start dropping bodies, it's a whole nother story.
Well, you know what?
It's
It
a whole
depends
nother
on what
story. So
body they drop. I'm gonna say it depends on what body they drop. Because if again you dropping local jokers, you could do that shit for some years. But you dropping people who know some people, you bringing trouble, unnecessary trouble to your house.
yeah, because look, the dude, Big Meat, he got jammed up. But the person he killed was Puff Daddy's a fucking assistant.
Again, you don't fuck with people who got
Yeah,
peoples who in
yeah,
place
man. When
that
you
can do some
man,
shit if you fuck with their people.
now, Homeboy's trial only lasted 3 days. I'm like, damn, nigga,
Yeah.
your trial lasted 3 days. It took 3 years for a 3-day trial, and you had 100
Hey, three
witnesses.
years. for 3 days at all.
The trial lasted 3 days. They convicted this nigga in 2 hours. I don't know what they argued for 2 hours for. You had all these snitches, but then again,
No, well, they
they
waited on lunch. They was waiting on lunch to be delivered. We ain't leaving here till we eat.
you ain't lying, man. After 12, hey, I ain't going back out there till you bring me my damn Chick-fil-A, nigga. Extra
That
sauce.
part. We get a full day pay for this shit.
Man, I told you sweet lemonade, nigga. This shit ain't got no sugar in it, motherfucker. It's gonna be another nigga getting
What
killed in this bitch. You keep playing with me.
19?
So he was convicted of 2 counts of
Of course.
second-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison. And after this, of course, Atoya Johnson made statements, made posts about how this is killing her mom. And I guess it kind of like sped up the crack because she's still on crack.
I
She's
mean,
probably
she got a reason.
double time on
Not
crack
that,
now.
that you need a reason to be on crack, but I'm just saying it was already hard, and then you lost your boys, and then you seen one of them die. That's a lot. I ain't advocating to smoke the crack, but if you're going to need a good reason to smoke the crack, that's a good reason. Prayers out for the mama. Hope that she getting that thing together. You know what I'm saying? It's traumatizing. That's real traumatizing over there. God damn. Mm.
So Antonio TZ Edwards will forever be in jail in Louisiana, and that's like the worst place to be in jail at. I
He
think
at
he might be in
Angola.
Angola. I was about to say right there in Angola, where they is making these niggas wash cars, pick
Man, they don't
cotton,
play.
cut
They don't
fields.
play. Mm.
Yeah, you ain't trying to go
Mm.
down. You ain't trying to go to jail in goddamn Mississippi or fucking Louisiana.
Or
You
Arizona,
already
because
state
they got
property,
down
but
Maricopa County some bullshit too.
man, yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Um, and Atoya Johnson, she did have another show with another lady, of course, Tamika, and then she also wrote some books. And right now, if you check her social media now, she is still grieving her brothers here and there, and she's been married again, and of course, ex baby daddy is, I mean, ex husband is still the greatest rapper alive, and you probably saw him do his thing in New Orleans a couple weeks back for Mardi Gras.
I don't know. He still ain't did a Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Uh,
I'm just saying.
we might not never get that Super Bowl out of him. Not at this point. He probably like fuck the Super Bowl. Whew. But yeah, that was it, man.
Damn.
Don't kill niggas in front of your crack house.
Don't kill niggas over $10. Can we stop? Can we, as a nation, agree to stop doing that? There should be a dollar amount that it's got to be at least minimum. But $10,
Yeah, because
yeah.
at this point, like at $10, you getting like a bunch of shake in that bag.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, bro,
Come on, $10.
ten
Ugh.
ten dollars,
You fucked
ten
your
dollars.
whole world up for $10.
And the crazy part about about the $10 is that everybody kept saying everybody comes to get. He's the biggest supplier around. I would have let them get that
Right.
10, but told them that you can't come back over here. You can't
But
come
you
back
know
over
what?
here.
People ego get in the way. That's what it is. People egos get in the way, and feel like people can't talk to them, and what, I don't care. You can sit here and talk to me crazy all you want. As long as you don't put your motherfucking hands on me, we fine. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and get jazz mouth with you, and we can do this thing all day, every day. I can shut my door, and you just want to be served. You know what I'm saying? Go find you another dope dealer, whatever. But what
Right.
I'm not going to do is just lose my whole everything, my whole entire operation for $10. I ain't finna do it for $100. I'm just saying this. Can we do this for some real major money? You know what I mean? We was moving bricks. The birds fly south for the summer, and they fucked up my operation. That kind of thing. That's when
Everything.
you know, $10, man. So, why you even answering the door? That's what I want to know. Why you answering? You supposed to have people that do that. You wasn't even supposed to be nowhere near around in this situation.
Mentioned that wasn't even his fucking house. That was Carl's house.
Mm-mm. What the
And
fuck
the
is
crazy
Carl?
part, Carl was the owner of the house. Carl was the one who
I'm
called the
saying when
mama
he
and
was,
said, "Hey,
let Carl answer his own though.
look, that's my thing. That's the point I'm not getting. It was Carl's house. Carl called Anita and told him that, hey, your son is outside arguing. I just heard gunshots. Didn't even tell him that they've been shot. All he said was that he heard gunshots. And at that point, He's getting all the drugs out the house. He ain't go out there to revive shit. He got the fuck out of Dodge. But then again, Carl, the owner of the crack house, took the stand too. You got Carl, Tori, Miss Williams, Mashonda, Journey. You got 5 people that work for you on the stand.
Mm,
So
they
I
must
don't
have had
blame
good
his
employee benefits.
man. But he,
His
I know
benefit package was
he was fucking Journey. She said, "Yeah, I know TZ. I know him real good." Hmm. Yeah, he probably was paying her with
mm-mm,
powder.
mm, mm. That's a mess. I'm speechless.
So what you
You
got
know, I
next
heard
going on?
heard about the story when it happened, you know what I'm saying? But, didn't know the backstory of it all. And I'm just
Hmm.
it's good that these people lost their lives for $10. Like it's
$10.
a life is worth way more than that. I mean, you fucked up the trajectory of the family. I mean, there's always gonna be a hole. That somebody died, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And we know you. And
And
ugh,
this the crazy part.
throw the
When I
whole
heard
case
like
away.
I'm just like you. When I heard the story, I'm just thinking they just got caught up in some random drive by shit. Then I go into the story, it was
Right.
much bigger. I'm like, what? But I really feel
Yes.
like he wasn't just gonna sell them that 10 bag because he knew who their sister was and probably wanted them to offer him more. That's what I really think.
But it's a way to get to that. You know what I'm saying? It's better to keep this as an associate because you never know what opportunities might
Yep.
come in the pipeline.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But to just do this, like that's showing your ass for no reason at all. Like,
But niggas gonna
that
need
nigga
that,
must have been
man.
having a bad day. I feel this. I still want to say there's got to be something more. Like, did some who peed in your cornflakes to make you jump off the porch for $10?
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like the back door. I know this street was dark because you got crackheads in the front. You got
Mm-mm.
crackheads in the
You
front.
want the crackheads
You
to go around the back, if anything. The weed people, weed is good. It's fine. You can come through
that's
the
the
front
great.
door for this. Like,
That's the crazy part. And not only did you have crackheads, that you even let them smoke in the house, so
it's rules and regulations to this thing.
they can get they can they can go full fledged crackhead inside the house.
Uh, uh, Even at the Carter, you remember New Jack City? Even at the Carter, you had to follow the rules. You got to come through certain doors and put your money
Yeah,
right here and get your shit out the slot. But maybe he was trying to get his, brown on and was, feeling himself. I'm finna sit your $5 ass down before I
before
make
I make
change type of
change.
ass.
But look, peep this. What why? Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, why? How do you think? Why did he associate himself with so many people that were snitches? Because they all was
Because
doing crime.
you know what? Because at the end of the day, street motherfuckers who out here dipping, doing all their asses and snitches behind closed doors. All
You ain't
of
never
them.
lying.
They all snitches. I don't give a damn who it is. The hardest motherfucker who be on social media talking about fuck a snitch and da 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 da. Let them be in their box. And these folks talking about this time that they finna put on their ass. They start singing like motherfucking birds. All these niggas
A
that go to
whole
jail and
state
get out,
witness. A
go to
whole
jail,
fucking
get
state
out.
witness.
Come on now. Come on now. A confidential informant. All of them. So if you in the life, you just got to know that's some of the complications that come with that life. The motherfuckers that you fucking with will turn on your ass. Period. So
Okay,
the moral
well,
of the
since I've
story
never
is
did
don't do street shit.
all my other listeners, not all my listeners, all my other people that came onto the show, we did a little interview too. So I'm gonna interview you too
Okay.
right now.
All right.
How did you get into true crime?
Man, I've always loved true crime. Like I am the girl that sits around and I got either a Law and Order on or some ID channel. You know what I'm saying? My kids be like, "Mama, you trying to do something? What's up?"
Right? You,
It
you trying to figure out
really,
how
I
to kill
let
me?
them know. I think I could do some things and get away with it. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. I do believe I could pull it off, but
Oh,
I'm more
definitely.
I'm more now about. I mean, besides loving crime shows, I don't know. I like podcasts, listening to podcasts, and in listening to true crime podcasts, it just wasn't a lot out there that sounded like that were
Exactly.
telling our stories. And one of the podcasts that I listened to, they always had a commercial that was like, "Hey, you should be a podcaster. What are you waiting on? You should do it. You should do it." And one day I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's do this shit. So to help my community. Like, literally, we truly, as Black people, have this myth that it's just some shit that we don't do. You hear a crime on the news, and because it's embedded in us, first thing you think, oh, that was somebody white. No, it quite well could have been
These
somebody
days, you don't
Black.
know who doing it.
You don't know who doing it, but understand we are doing it too. And it fucks us up because who you gonna trust? I mean, white man pull up on you, your guard is up. But a brother pull up on you, skin folk, you know what I'm saying? You more willing to get in the time of day. And that might
Yep,
be the one that dead your ass.
definitely. What are some signs when you're listening to true crime that shit is just about to go left?
When they say, man, wait till I tell you this shit. Y'all ain't gonna my favorite. Y'all ain't gonna believe what I'm finna tell you. Yeah. Wait a
My
minute.
Mine usually is, I'm keeping the baby, and I'm telling your wife,
Ooh. Oh yeah.
you out
Yeah.
of there.
Oh, okay, if that's the case, it's when you hear somebody say, I need to tell you something.
Yep.
Shit finna go left. Whatever they finna tell you is not gonna end well.
But you know what? The common theme is now.
What?
When a motherfucker's out there, mostly a guy, I'm gonna tell your wife. This is a man telling him this. I'm gonna tell everybody you gay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tell everybody you like a little dick on the side.
You know what? I believe that there is some absolute truth to that. You know, and this is probably gonna get me in trouble, but I don't care. Sometimes you when you see something come across the news or on social media and it just appears like it came out of left field somewhere,
Mhm.
like what? He killed his they killed themselves. What? Not that person. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Like what was that? Like maybe a couple months back, it was a dude that pulled up to this he pulled up to this like bikini car wash, and of course he like white women because all I saw was white women in bikinis, which it wasn't appealing at all. But he pulls up, all he got on is a t-shirt. He ain't got no pants on, and he trying to get his Challenger
Yeah,
washed,
what?
and they finna wash his car, and he was about to raise hell up in that car. I mean, that motherfucking steering wheel was gonna be sticky as hell by the time he got done.
Yeah.
But the
Oh
ladies saw
no.
him and said, "Hey, man, you get your black ass up out of here." They was white. They told him to get his ass up out of here, and
I
it
saw
blows
that.
up on social media. Right? This guy had just got married, and had kids, kills himself from embarrassment.
I hate that because I really do
Don't
feel
do
like that
nothing you
happens
ashamed of,
a
bruh.
lot
I'd have
more.
just drove off, but the
Exactly.
cameras was
But
recording.
you know what? It's a lot of people who don't feel like their truth will be accepted because they put so much stock in what other people feel or think about them. I think if we as a society, individuals can get to a point where you don't give a fuck about what somebody else say, live in your truth, whatever your truth may be, it'll take away some of that. Because if you're waiting on society to give you the green light or to give you the nod that what you doing, they cool with it, man, you be waiting your whole life. Because I don't care what it is, somebody got a problem with it. Somebody somewhere. Fuck them. That's my
Yeah,
motto. Fuck them.
social media did that. Social media did that. That's why people care so much these
Fuck social
days.
media. I don't know
Man, look,
y'all. No.
them people go through 100 filters. They'll post a picture, and you be like, feeling sexy. Might delete it later. In the first comment, you fat bitch. Be like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Thank you. And next, moving on. So
right,
what? And all this
right.
fat ass will still do what the fuck I want to do. I mean, I understand everybody doesn't have the confidence, but I wish we could get to that point where more people would put less stock in what other people think. And even in your relationship, if you like to do some strange shit, man, find you somebody who like to do that same shit or that's accepting of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a pot for every lead. There is. You just gotta find the one. Stop trying to put a goddamn square in a circle. You gotta find your square.
It's somebody that heard that right now and was like, "How strange you trying to get?"
I don't care what how strange you get. If you like to pluck a chicken before you get your groove on, it's somebody
You remember that
somewhere
movie Woo?
with some chickens on it that they like, hey shit, let's try some.
You remember that
Just
movie Woo? You remember that movie
yeah.
Woo when homeboy dressed up like a chicken? He was like, and he's like, he spread them. them chicken skins on his chest and wanted his girlfriend to eat it off. She say, "Why the fuck do I gotta dress up like a fucking chicken?"
You know what?
That's what
It's
he
a
was.
Furby. Yeah, those people Furbies is what they call them. It's somebody out there who like that shit, you know? Because I don't care what it is, you ain't the only one that's doing it. Like you,
Right,
I read
right.
stories about like how back in not even back in the day, but I'm from the country, so cow tipping and pushing cows and shit over, but motherfuckers was fucking livestock. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing. People did it. You just acted like you didn't know it when you heard them cows out there screaming and hollering in the midnight hour. Come on now, it's somebody who
Yeah,
like to do whatever it is you like to do. You just gotta find them, and with the
yeah. It
internet,
was
it's much easier.
yeah, it was a man out here close to me in Tomball, Texas. He said he would go outside and his fucking donkey would run away from him like all of a sudden. You know the donkeys, they not scared of
He was
shit. They
assaulting the dog, putting that meat to him.
Man, so he put a
Shit,
camera out there with the donkey. His goddamn ranch hand when the donkey's tied up at night out there fucking the donkey. So now the donkey every time he come out there, the damn donkey scared. White
I'm just
man.
saying, y'all men folk, the ones with that meat, y'all like to put that meat in a hole. Period. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of don't care what type of hole it is, as long as it's a hole. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What do you think has to happen for black true crime to get pushed further ahead? Because like of course we all listen to Sisters Who Kill, love them, and went to their live
Hmm.
show. Um on the Apple list, they had them at 179. And I'm looking at the Apple list, right? Those were the first, well, they was the only black true crime podcast on there, on the true crime pod thing. And my thing was, when I saw that, I'm like, well, take them off. Take them completely off that list because you're doing them a disservice. Because you got, out of them 179, because they're 79, I just stopped right there. At them 179, the 178 that's in front of them, you got some of them that haven't released episodes in years.
Years.
So how are you gonna tell me, oh, this is a top rated? Top rated off what? And this is the thing, like the times I contacted, because I contacted Spotify, I contacted Apple, and I'm like, bro, how about y'all just make a black true crime section? But the thing is, if you make a black true crime section, the white true crime shit, or the true crime that they call it, ain't nobody gonna go there to search for nothing. Their views, their listeners, their plays will go completely down because now we don't have to shuffle through 100 white ones to get to a black one. They don't want that.
That's true. That's true. I mean, there's absolute truth in that. I think we just have to keep doing what we doing, supporting our black podcasters in whatever it is that they do, spreading the word to your cousins and putting us in a group chat about all these different,
Mhm.
I might not I'll give a shout out to different podcasters because I feel like we all can, it's enough at work out here for all us to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Each
yeah.
one
Oh
needs to
yeah.
teach one, each one need to spread the word, what I know, what I got. Hey, I'm willing to share it. And I think much like all everything else that we do as black people, shit, we gotta work 10 times harder, regardless of the fact.
Always.
You know what I mean? You can't put stock in the awards, you know what I mean? Whether I don't care if it's Grammys, Oscars,
Cause they don't
Spotify
want us
top
there
10,
anyway.
whatever the case may be. They're never gonna give us the shine that we need to. They're always gonna stack the deck against us.
Right? Now, have any story you ever told, have anybody ever contacted you from that family of a victim?
No, not at all, and it's crazy because I have reached out, on social media to, like, family members of my, mayhem makers just to try to see if, you wanna talk about something or whatever, but no, I have not just yet. I guess I should knock on wood, had
They never
anybody
want to
wanna
talk.
come check me, but,
Oh, they come
if
check
they
me
want
quite
me, I ain't
often.
hard to find.
Oh yeah, I got a listener. Damn, I don't want to forget her name, but she knows that she's gonna listen to this episode. She's right now. She was going back and forth with. I did this story on this guy named. It was quite recent. What's his name again? Shannon Johnson, right? He ended up killing this dude named Timothy, right? And the
Mm.
other day, I go through my messages. His racist ass sister's in my comments trying to dispel the story. I'm like, lady, your brother was a racist, and your screen name is Tracy Racy. Bitch, please. Your name is Tracy Racy. That's your screen name. You racist bitch. She was upset that how I portrayed the story. Like, bitch, this is how the story played out. And then I had a listener. I don't want to mess up her name. She said, no, that guy is a racist. I gave him the U-Haul. She said, I used to work there. He used to come in with a bad attitude and he did not like black people. And she gave me all this context of what he was doing. And I'm like, lady, your brother was a racist, and I'm just gonna assume you're one too. That shit ain't. You don't wake up and say I'm a racist. You grow into that. You learn
Right.
that shit. That shit, man.
Right.
Man, I ain't raised no racist. Yeah, but his
I
sister
hope
was
that,
upset.
my listeners, they'll check me from time to time if they don't agree with,
Hmm.
maybe the type of story that I did. Like I had one that I was talking about a guy that was wrongfully convicted of a crime that just was out of left field. They just had to grab somebody. And for mine, it's a safe space. Whether you agree with me or not, we can all talk it out, whatever. But I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Because it's my
Yup.
podcast. Thank you and good night.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Somebody told me this is your picnic. They can't nobody tell you what kind of sandwiches to bring. Absolutely. And that's how because I don't put stock by what other people say. I'm putting out a quality
Yeah.
product. My heart is pure. This shit happened. It's real. I told it the way I wanted to tell it, but all of this shit I got receipts for. So, as long as we're not lying on people, it is what it is.
Yeah. I actually did a show about this guy named Timothy Shepard, and all his family. All of a sudden, I look at my DMs. Shepard, 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 Shepard. Shepard. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? His daughter, his daughter was pissed. She was like,
Why?
I'm in school right now. I'm gonna become a lawyer. I'm gonna get my daddy out of this. And this is this. And I'm like, girl, your daddy chopped this lady up and threw her on a barbecue pit. What are you gonna
Oh
what
God.
what the fuck are you gonna fight with? He barbecued this lady
He
for 3 days
barbecue
because
pit?
she didn't want. Oh yeah, he cut her up. He brought her. Okay, I mean, my listeners have heard this story. It ain't funny.
Oh
And
my
Shepherds,
God.
my bad. I know y'all was pissed, and y'all still gonna be pissed because I know these people and they know how to get at me like by phone. But like again, this is true crime. I didn't pull this story to talk about y'all, but this how it happened. But they was pissed. Anyway, he's dating this chick. I can't remember her name. Look, I forget a lot of my stories at this point. I'm almost 200 in, but
Okay, I'm trying to get
I
like
can
you.
pretty I can pretty much dog. I used to like go back and listen to my cases. Now that shit just runs together. I just really need to see a name, a little bit of details, and then I can go back into it. Anyway, his daughter, I mean his girlfriend goes to A&M. He's an old bum ass nigga, right? She comes in town one day because she's at A&M on a scholarship. She comes home and to break up with his ass on spring break. But he was like, nah, ain't no breaking up with me. So he brings her
Mm,
back to his house because she was living with him one time. And she was it was portrayed in the media that she was a um a very good student. She was a stand-up child and this, that, and the other. But I also talked to some of her classmates. That's why I like when I run into people that know stuff. The classmates say, man, that girl was raised in hell. And she was doing this,
mm.
doing that, everything under the sun. But she was smart. Got a scholarship to Texas A&M, and she came home. She was like, hey, I don't want to be up there no more because that nigga, he was taking his little trip from Houston to Texas A&M, which is about it's not far. Maybe less than a couple hours. But he goes up to Texas A&M. He's fighting people on campus. He's checking her. Why you answer your phone? Oh, I thought you had class at 12. Why you not in class? Like questioning her about her daily life at college, like he know anything about it. Mention he's a grown man. She's 18. He's 26, and he had been dating her 2 years. Nigga, what? So she comes home. They're supposed to go to I forgot which festival was happening in Houston. She was supposed to meet up with some friends, right? And she told him, "Hey, I'm gonna ride over here I'm gonna ride with him, Timothy Shepard. I'm gonna go back to the spot. I'll be back later. I'm gonna meet y'all at the festival, right?" Man, he gets her there. He chokes her out, chop her up, throws her in the garbage disposal, throws some in the bag, throws some in the damn tub, throws her on the
Oh
barbecue pits,
Lord.
and burns her ass for 3 days. And then he didn't have enough space to barbecue her all at one time, so he goes on to his next door neighbor, knocks on his door, borrows his um little smoky, but he has the bigger one. Puts it on the patio. Now he got two pits rolling, and he had these bitches smoking for 2 days, right? And the next door neighbor was concerned because he was like, "Hey, bro, every time I barbecue, I invite you over, and you've been barbecuing for 3 days. You ain't invited me to this shit." He's like, oh no, man, this is a catering gig. What? A 3-day catering gig, nigga? You ain't barely got a job. So he barbecued her for 3 days, right? And gets rid of the body, gets rid of everything he could, right? So her mother gets concerned because the friends are telling him, "Hey, we saw her last with Timothy." The mother didn't want her with Timothy, right? Because the nigga was a bad actor, in and out of jail, beating, scratching, everything to it. He's abusive and he's older age. I'd have threw his ass in there for statutory a long time ago. But the police show up and they get there, and when they get to his house, they even find pieces of meat all over the place. And he tells them, no, I went hunting and I like dismembered it in the sink. I mean, not in the sink, in the tub, in the bathroom.
Ugh.
So it was meat over there. It was meat in the garbage disposal. It was 2 pits that was still had a crazy smell, like he was burning tires, but it's burning flesh.
Oh God.
But anyway, they catch his
Ew.
ass and he ended up getting life. He tried to play
And
crazy,
there are some
but
crazy, sick
they ended up
people
telling him, nigga,
out
you ain't
here.
crazy. Listeners that ain't listened to it, if y'all want to go look at this story, it's called Timothy Shepard. It's one of my early shows. But yeah,
We're gonna take a look at that New Orleans Nation. We're gonna have to go
man.
see who was throwing that meat on the grill.
Yeah, man. He burnt her up, man. He burnt her up. I mean, and it took 3 days, and like those grills, it's not like a damn, it's not like how you cremate it,
The
so it's not gonna get that
crematory, I
hot.
mean, you need a
Yeah,
lot of heat to actually
yeah.
burn a body to
That's why
nothing.
that's why they was able to find like bones and shit like that. Because after that, the parts that he couldn't get rid of, he just threw in the dumpster. So they found her blood, they found bones, found her teeth, they found all this stuff in the garbage disposal. So like he was burning some, he was throwing some down the garbage disposal.
A mess.
Yep,
A mess. That was somebody's child. Just
yep,
desecrated them. Ooh, just people. Ooh,
yep,
throw the whole race away. Just throw them out. Just all these killers. Just throw them out. They need to go and be put somewhere in a place far away from everybody else. Like that's diabolical.
yeah.
Diabolical. Ugh. Mm.
What you got going next?
Honey, I gotta get in the lab and edit my own episode for this week's podcast.
Mm,
Tuesday. I told you it'd be my day where I have to get in and get it. So it'll be a late night, but please believe tomorrow the episode will post like it's supposed to. And they're gonna get a little extra when they can hear this one between me and you.
I'm gonna send it over there so you can put it on yours too, so you get a double episode.
Absolutely. That's what's up. I let the cat out the bag. I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. I'm new to
No,
this.
no, it's good because they was already telling me to get in touch. I said I already reached out, but then like listen, I listen to so many different black podcasts. Like I just have
Me
to get them in
too.
order. I'd be like, whichever ones had got released next, I just go through there. And when I got to yours, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna reach back out. But yeah, but I've been reaching out
And
to
I'm
some
so
that I
glad
like.
you did. Rocking with the
Yeah, man.
king.
I be trying to reach out because my listeners always let me know what's going on. Shout out to all of them. Um, yeah, man. The goal for 25 is just to like, I don't know, definitely more listeners. I owe
More
some episodes
listeners,
now.
more outreach. We're gonna get out here and give y'all some live stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get some merch out here for you peoples that want to
I'm
make sure
telling
that
you,
you
man.
promote.
I get a live show, man. I'm cutting up.
Cutting up. And you
Man.
never know. We've talked about some things. You know what I'm saying? I think we can make some big things pop out for 2025. Not to mention the weather getting right. We
Oh
want to
yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
outdoors a little bit. What y'all say, New Orleans Nation and Not My Brothers Keeper Nation? What y'all want? Y'all want us to get together and bring y'all a host of live shows with a bunch of your favorite podcasters giving you what you want?
I think it would be good with like four people.
Four is a nice round number.
Yeah, because I don't like because like at one point I was doing like I would do like my whole episodes, right? But then I'll go to TikTok and I compress that shit into 10 minutes. So my thing is like I could still do a whole show, but I could definitely compress mine and get it still going because a lot of my listeners look at mine like it's a comedy for some reason.
Showing out. That's why they coming for your neck.
Yeah, some people gonna be mad about me talking about that lady was a crackhead. Hmm. Crack is whack, and we can't make fun of it.
That's what Whitney said. Whitney told y'all that crack was whack. But in 2025. crack, is it really whack anymore? I mean, with all the synthetic drugs that's out here, I mean, can you even find somebody who still smoke rock? Like that's like the Jerry curls. Is anybody still doing Jerry curls?
Man,
Still anybody out here
no,
making crack?
you fuck around and smoke rack. You smoke around and think you're getting crack, and it might be a piece of chalk. They just didn't
Something.
cut it
I
up.
mean, I don't
That
know.
crack,
Gone are the
that
days.
fentanyl,
I
all that
haven't
stuff.
seen a good crackhead in a minute. I see a lot of meth heads and whatnot, but I don't see no crackheads no
You
more.
know what? Now that meth shit, that's what's tripping me out. I didn't know it was so many black people on meth, especially in fucking Florida.
Man, I keep trying to tell y'all we do everything they do.
I'm like, what?
Shit,
When they
everything,
say, man,
everything.
when I be hearing a rapper get caught with methamphetamines, I be like, what?
Cause that's
Like,
where we are now.
nigga,
That's why I said crack. Can do they even still anybody still getting a charge for crack? Like I know cocaine, sure, cause it ain't even regular cocaine now. What they got pink cocaine now?
man, that nigga Diddy a motherfucker.
Hey man,
What you think
I'm
about that?
saying,
What you think about Diddy?
mm, I think that when the chickens come home to roost, you get you fucked up. It just don't think that the shit you done got away with back in the past won't come back and find your ass.
You know what is crazy though? Wendy
What?
Williams told him this shit in the 90s.
But it's always like that. I mean, shit. Look at R. Kelly. We all knew what was going on
Oh man,
from
I can,
Aaliyah, but
bro,
it wasn't no secret.
I cannot stand Aaliyah's family. They are full of shit. And the reason why I say they full of shit is,
Mm,
what the fuck are y'all hiding? They don't say anything about R. Kelly. They don't say anything about Aaliyah. I'm like, y'all don't put her music on these platforms. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all holding on to?
Man, they put a little bit of it out. They released a little bit, but they kept her away from us for a long time because that was my girl. But it wasn't no secret what was going on. And
Oh hell no.
I don't unpopular opinion, but I mean, even Swap ain't no swindle. Now I ain't speaking about the Aaliyah, but for all of the surviving R. Kelly survivors, y'all was
They need to be
living in
arrested.
there and experiencing the finest of the finest. If he
Yep.
wanted you to do what you wanted to do, for all he needed to do was pee on you from time to time. Clearly, you ain't mind that shit. Some of y'all parents bought the concert tickets and took her backstage, and made sure you
Yeah.
had shouts and shit on. You know what I'm saying? I don't get. I mean, that's not just. It's a whole lot of celebrities. I mean, Michael Jackson. You can go back to a whole lot of people who've been accused of a whole lot of shit. I'm just saying, my daughter, I might take her to the concert, but she ain't finna go off with you nowhere by herself. You know
Oh
what I'm
hell
saying?
no.
She ain't finna come to your house and spend the night. It's just I ain't pimping my children out like that. I'm just saying.
And look, this is
You
another
gotta
thing. When
get mad. The money got cut off. When the money got cut off, that's when it was a problem. For me,
yes, because
if
look,
it's a problem, it should have been a problem from the gate. You know what I
from the
mean?
get go, R. Kelly
From the
was
get
giving
go.
them people $1,000 a week in the 90s. That was
Mm-mm.
money then. You gotta
That was good.
that
Man, let's money down. Shit.
I don't know if you're gonna risk it for 60,000 these days.
That motherfuckers risky for $10.
Well, yeah.
Shit. You
Apparently,
know,
apparently.
they will risk it. So I just I think a little differently about things sometimes, and for me, it's like if it's a problem, you should have been screaming from day one when I found your phone number in my baby phone. You know what I'm saying? I went to the police then and there, put a stop to this shit. Not six
Oh
years
yeah.
later, when she done aged out, because you got an age range you like them from, and now she done aged out the program, and we don't want to go because your money is a line item in our budget. I'm just saying. It makes
Yeah,
it
you
hard for the
fucking up the
people who are
house.
truly victimized, who are true victims, who did not want to be in a situation and were forced to be in a situation. I'm just saying. You out here buying Birkin bags. Mm, one of these is not the same.
At all. One more question. Those
What's up?
twins. Why were they in that town? The one that they just found dead on that mountain.
I don't know because the news has been very vague. It just says that they were visiting Atlanta, but where they were found is not Atlanta. I mean, it's a whole lot of places that ain't Atlanta but are Atlanta. Where they were found is not Atlanta. So I don't know how the fuck they got out there because ain't no bus, ain't no nothing. Somebody took them out there.
Cause I was like, my question was like, damn. I was like, were they known to go? mountain hiking and trailing and shit like that. I don't, man. I took my son to a cave. I didn't even have shoes for that shit. So I'm like, that's why I was like, damn, were they walking trails or do they climb mountains? I'm like, why are they at the top of the mountain? And not only why are they at the top of the mountain, where's the gun if it's a murder suicide? Two people can't strangle each other.
Mm, mm, mm. You know, the truth sadly will probably never come out
It will never.
because ain't no cameras up there. I mean, we're talking a real desolate place. Like you have to. I don't know where the fuck they were. I got to get some GPS going and figure out. So that's not some place that you just stumble across. You know what I'm saying? This is not like a young black person's tourist spot. Like
Nope.
period. Like it's not Decatur. You want at Lennox or nothing like that. This is completely and totally off the beaten path. So they had some help being unalived and we probably will never know what happened. And my heart just goes out to their family because who the fuck and why
Twins,
the
bro. Twins.
twins? Like both of them? Yeah, take both of them from me? A mess. A mess. A
Yeah.
mess. A mess. But you know, they'll come up with some surveillance cameras, you know. They'll figure out where they were last in the city and they'll be like, you know, have you seen this person? Hopefully. Hopefully. That's the best we can hope for. Atlanta got a lot of cameras. So if they touch down at Hartsfield, we should be able to track them all the way from the airport or bus or however they got here to their hotel and then try to figure out where they went. But you know, it also depends on which area has jurisdiction. Cause in the
Yep.
mountains, I don't know what county that is, but I bet they ain't gonna be too concerned about what had happened was. Cause again, they
Hell
called it
no.
a murder suicide. Clearly, they not concerned.
Oh no, 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 no. That mean we ain't trying to do nothing. We ain't trying to do nothing extra. We trying to close this shit.
That part. It's closed already. Cause as far as we're concerned, you heard it's a murder suicide. Even though we ain't got no gun.
I'm gonna I'm gonna title this episode 30 for 30. You know what 30 for 30 is, right?
30 for 30. Where have I heard that? What is that?
Basically, ESPN usually does shows. It's called 30 for 30, but you only get 30 for 30 for being the best. It always talk about like
Okay.
the if
Yeah, we the
yeah.
best. DJ.
Yeah, so it's always like 30 for 30 is always like a historical event that happened in like sports or whatever, but it'd be like unforgettable shit. I mean, just talk about the whole story. So I was like, no, we're gonna do this 30 for 30. So that's why I named it. I'm gonna name it 30 for 30.
I get it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right,
But
y'all be on the lookout for 30 for 30 coming soon to your streaming platform.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it over to you. I'm gonna download it, of course, and then I'm gonna save it to my drive and I'm gonna send it to you so you can upload it on yours if you want to. But you'll have it in case you want to do something else with it. But
Cool beans, cool
listeners,
beans, cool beans.
y'all tune in to Murder and Mayhem every week. You know me, I come my days
Melanin
drop anytime.
Mayhem.
I mean Melanin and
Melanin
Mayhem. My bad.
Mayhem.
Melanin and Mayhem.
Look at him. Y'all get him to One Nation. Get him.
Y'all can get at me and talk. Y'all can get at me and talk crazy in my in my DMs or comments. It don't matter. Yeah, but me, I drop mine. I'm gonna drop this episode on Wednesdays. So you'll have a double dose of her this week.
Damn. Thank you,
Anything
King
else?
Arthur.
Thank you, thank you,
It's
thank
been
you.
a
And until
blast.
next time.
I just popped my cherry, my first wet. Ew, ew,
Until next
ew.
time. Peace.
Peace out.
What am I about to say? Hold up.